Okay, we're going to go ahead and look at page 200. I'm not going to be able to do the front. I'm just having the son to do the back. So let's just go ahead and start here. Hopefully you will do the front on your own. On page 200, question number 1 says to write a numerical expression to represent 20 minus the product of 5 and 2. So one of the things we talk about is to use our cube strategies. So we'll circle our important numbers. And I also want us to box our operation words. So what are the operation words that we see? Right, we see minus, we see product, and we also see the word and, which is important. Okay, so when I'm looking at this, I know that minus means I'm going to do what operation? Subtract. And product is going to be what operation? Right, multiplication. So the word and means that I'm doing these two numbers together. So I'm going to put groupings around them, 5 and 2. I need to do whatever operation to this first. And again, this word right before those two numbers tells you the operation to perform. So product of 5 and 2 means I'm going to be multiplying 5 times 2. So now I have 20 minus the product of 5 and 2. Now, you can put groupings or not. It does not matter here if you put groupings because, again, with PEMDAS, I'm going to put P-E-M-D-A-S, PEMDAS. Yes, I would naturally do parentheses first, but when you're looking at your two operations, subtraction or multiplication, you would multiply before you would subtract anyways, so you naturally, with order of operations, you're going to perform the product of 5 and 2 first and then subtract. But if you'd like to, you may add the groupings on there as well. Either one is correct. Let's look at number 4. Number 4 says, copy down the letter G. That will be your first letter to turn in. Number 4. Which expression represents the phrase 16 divided by the product of 4 and 4? Circle all. So when you're going through this again, please use your cube strategies. So circle your numbers. If you want, take a moment and pause it to help you. Box your operation words. We have divided. What else do we have? We have product. And again, we see the word and, so we're going to do that product for the word and. So divided tells us to, obviously divide, and product tells us that with 4 and 4 we're going to multiply. And again, now I have something that looks sort of like this, 16 divided by 4 times 4. But again, GEMDAS order of operations, or PEMDAS I should say, either one is fine. With PEMDAS, when I have multiplication and division, or addition and subtraction, I would work it left to right. So this actually tells me technically that I'm supposed to divide first, and I don't want to divide. I want to find the product of 4 and 4. So that's why I always tell you to put those groupings on there. The product of 4 and 4, 16 divided by the product of 4 and 4. So groupings on there so that you know you need to do this part before you divide. Do your parentheses first, and then divide 16. So does A work? Right, A does not work because in PEMDAS, when I have multiplication division, I would work it left to right. So since I have both, left to right means this one would technically be first, and I don't want that one first. I want to find the product of 4 and 4 before I divide, so A does not work. Look at B right below it. Does B work? Right, B does work because A has groupings. I'm going to find the product of 4 and 4, and they do 16 divided by the product of 4 and 4. So B does work. Let's look at C. We want to check them all just to see. 16 divided by the product of 4 and 4. Again, remember when you see this fraction bar, think of fraction as division. There's your little division symbol. I'm doing 16 divided by, and again, this right here means you're going to do that whole operation first. 16 divided by the product of 4 and 4. So C does work. D does not work because D is the product of 4 and 4 divided by 16. And I don't want 16 to be my divisor. I want 16 to be my dividend like it is here. It needs to be the first number. So your correct answers are B and C. If you want to copy down the letter I, that is your next letter in your word. Look at number 5. And now you have 2 letters, by the way, if you have been paying attention. If not, wake up! Okay, just kidding. Number 5. Write a numerical expression to represent 6 times the difference of 9 and 3. Then evaluate your expression. I don't expect you to evaluate because I haven't taught you how to evaluate yet, so just write your expression and that's good. So again, let's go through cubes. Cube strategies, I'm going to circle my numbers. Box my operation word, times, difference, which is going to go for that word and. Okay, so times tells me what operation? Very good, multiplication. And difference tells me, very good, subtraction. So now I essentially have 6 times the difference of 9 and 3. And again, to show the difference of 9 and 3, when I see that word and, what do I need to add? Right, I need to add those groupings around that so that I do the difference of 9 and 3, and then I multiply by 6. I could write it that way. Just note that it can also go like, you can do it another way. Bless me, excuse me. Where I do 9 minus 3 and then put that factor at the back end. Those two are both equivalent because you can change the order of your factors. This factor and this factor, the order can be reversed and it's still the same thing. Either way, I'm still finding this difference first and then multiplying it by 6. All right, let's look at number 6. Number 6 says to write a word phrase for the expression 10. Oh, I didn't want to tell you that. I want you to take a moment. Take a moment and think about that. How am I going to write that out? Let's see. Well, we obviously know that this is 10, 6, 4. So there's lots of words that you can come up with, but I want you to come up with a word for that symbol. What kind of word would you come up with? You could have done plus. You could have done more than. You could have done added to. And what about this one? What word do you come up with that? Subtract, difference. Let's try subtract since all those had difference. We'll use the word subtract here. And I'm going to do add. So I could write add 10 to, I said subtract here. Oh, I could say add 10 to 6 subtract 4. Or I'm going to use difference. I like difference better. Maybe you like subtract. I like difference. However you like it. Or add 10 to the difference of 6 and 4. And again, this word and is telling me that I have to do that operation first before I can perform any other part of this. Copy down your next letter. It is R. Your third letter is R. If you missed your letters, better go back, rewatch the video. Your next one, question 7. 7 says, Shayna is doing a craft project using yarn and craft sticks. She has 5 green yarn pieces, circle your 5, 7 blue yarn pieces. She's 3 times as many craft sticks as yarn pieces. Which expression can you use to find the number of craft sticks she has? Take a moment, do your cubes if you didn't do it with me. Pause the video if you need to. Okay, so now I need to come up with an expression. Which expression could you use to find the number of craft sticks she has? So it says she has 5 green pieces and 7 blue pieces. She has 3 times as many craft sticks as yarn. Okay, so I can add 5 yarn plus 7 yarn. And then it says 3 times as many craft sticks as yarn pieces. find the number of craft sticks. So if this is how many yarn pieces, I can take that and what operation? Right, multiplication. So I can take the value of the green and the blue, join them together, and then multiply by the number 3 times, make it 3 times as much. So multiply by 3. I'm not going to tell you that answer. Hopefully you can figure that out. But copy down your next letter of L. And let's look at the last question. Go ahead and make your answer. Pause to think about it if you need to. Question number 8. Look at your answer. Problem 7. Evaluate. Oh, you don't need to do number 8 because we're not doing evaluation yet. So that saves you a little luck. All right, have a good night. I wish you luck on the homework. Make sure that you also complete the front side. See you tomorrow.